Good morning and welcome to Halle Field on the campus of Northwest Nazarene University for the 2025 GNAC Softball Championship. Today's championship game matches the number 3 seeded Simon Fraser Redleaf and the number 1 seeded Western Washington Vikings. The Redleafs entered today's game with a record of 24 and 24. The Vikings entered today's game with a record of 39 and 10. Now, let's meet the non-starters for the designated visiting team, Simon Fraser Redleaf. Number 1, Nevada Johnson. Number 2, Annika Jansen. Number 4, Taylor Henry. Number 7, McKenna Simmons. Number 15, Ella Booth. Number 16, Jordan Rupert. Number 24, Rachel Bowles. Number 25, Alexander Devereux. And number 33, Hayden Stabransky. And now let's meet the starting lineup for Simon Fraser. Leading off, the center fielder, number 9, Aaron Murphy. Batting second, the shortstop, number 11, Grace McMillan. Hitting third, the left fielder, number 20, Abby McLean. Batting cleanup, the first baseman, number 17, Christian Davadu. Hitting fifth, the designated player, number 13, Cassidy Afloat. Batting sixth, the second baseman, number 23, Johnny Bolton. Hitting seventh, the third baseman, number 8, Ray Bates. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 12, Lauren Lidgehide. Batting ninth, the catcher, number 3, Lizzie Segrai. And in the flex position, at pitcher, number 5, Monica Ball. The assistant coaches are Tori Peterson and Courtney Sanders. The head coach is Stacey Fernandez. Now, let's meet the non-starters for the designated home team, the Western Washington Vikings.
Let's go!
Number 3, Rachel Traxler. Number 5, Gracie Houston. Number 9, Kiana Combs. Number 10, Emily McCutcheon. Number 13, Joey Baker. Number 17, Evie Massina. Number 21, Chase McWilliams. Number 23, Haley Kim. Number 32, Alexis Slater. And number 99, Paris Bella McGaw. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Western Washington Vikings. Leading off, the third baseman, number 8, Maria Andrews. Batting second, the second baseman, number 15, Tanya Hua Patel. Hitting third, the shortstop, number 1, Haley Rapp. Batting cleanup, the catcher, number 38, Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez. Hitting fifth, the first baseman, number 19, Olivia Matlock. Batting sixth, the designated player, number 24, Myree Johnson. Hitting seventh, the center fielder, number 16, Layla Carpenter. Batting eighth, the right fielder, number 14, McKenna Crum. Batting ninth, the left fielder, number 2, Lexi Barton. And in the fifth position, at pitcher, number 7, Ali Kimball. The assistant coaches are Serena Robertson, Leah Francis, Annika Hero, and Ashley Jacobson. Their head coach is Cheryl Gilman. At this time, we ask everyone to rise if they're able and remove your hats, as we honor the two countries of the GNAC with the United States and Canadian national anthems.
Well, good morning from Nampa, Idaho. Here we are at Halle Field on the campus of Northwest Nazarene University for the championship game of the 2025 Great Northwest Athletic Conference Softball Championships. You've seen the starting lineups introduced in the national anthem, and we are about ready for the first pitch, scheduled for 11 a.m. Today's game features your top-seeded and number 9 ranked nationally Western Washington Vikings. They come into today's game 39-10 overall. They've won 12 games in a row and 18 of 19. They are seeking to become the first team in the history of the Great Northwest Athletic Conference Softball Championships to win back-to-back titles. They have won 3 titles since the tournament began. They're tied with Northwest Nazarene University for the most team tournament titles at 3, so a win today would give them the edge there as well. Yesterday, Western Washington pounded out 14 hits in their game to advance to today's tournament final, and they were led by Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez, who went 3 for 4, scored 2 runs, and had 2 RBIs. Meanwhile, Simon Fraser evened their record yesterday at 24-24. They were the 3 seed in the tournament. They are the visitors. And here to get things started, they are led off by their center fielder, a second-team GNAC all-conference selection in Erin Murphy. The lefty steps in. She's hitting .302 on the season. Murphy went 2 for 4 and scored a run in yesterday's elimination game victory over St. Martin's. There's the first pitch of the day, and it's in there for ball 1. In the circle for Western Washington is Allie Kimball. She is 15-3 overall with a 2.14 ERA. Second pitch is in for a called strike, 1-1 here on Murphy. Ball's fouled off to the screen, and if you've been watching the tournament, you'll notice that the weather has held, and just today, just a few clouds in the sky, and it's a beautiful morning, light breezes. It's probably about 65 degrees. Yesterday, it got downright warm with highs across the valley over 80. But the cold front and a little bit of rain that the rest of the Western Oregon, Washington I think are in the middle of right now is headed our way. 2-2. Soft liner straight to Andrews at third base. Grace McMillan steps in, the shortstop for Simon Fraser. First pitch strike delivered. Ball's up. Ball's lifted into shallow right field. In to make the grab is Carpenter on the slide for the second out of the inning. Abby McGlynn steps in, first team all GNAC selection, the left fielder for Simon Fraser, hitting .392 on the season. Yesterday she went 1 for 4 and scored a run. First pitch down for ball one.
You got this, Halle. You got this. Your circle, your circle.
Pitch is hit hard, pulled down the right field line. It's going to get past Crum in right field. She's going to go to extra bases. She rounds second. She's going to stand up for a triple to put a base runner on for Simon Fraser. And Crum sold out to cut that off. To be honest, that probably only cost her one base, because I think even if she dives and stops that, she was far enough to the right that it would have been interesting to see if McGlynn would have tried to stretch that to 2. So our first base runner of the afternoon, Crum, is at third base. That brings up Kristen Daviduk, the first baseman for the Red Leafs. 359 on the year, a team high 13 home runs, and a first team all GNAC selection. First pitch in for a strike from Kimball. Ball is up, 1-1. Fouled off the Halle Field sign up on the screen. Ball's also fouled off over the third base dugout. 1 ball, 2 strikes here for Daviduk. And a called third strike as it hits the corner to retire Simon Fraser. In the top of the first, they scored no runs. There was 1 hit, there were no errors, and left McGlynn standing on third at the end of a half inning. It's Simon Fraser 0, Western Washington coming to bat.
Here's to the ones who are always there.
These are pretty yummy.
Because being there is everything.
I heard you're not feeling too good.
That's why at Blue Cross of Idaho, we're making sure the care you need always has a way to find you. Down any road, or around the corner. Doing more, giving back,
Thanks.
and going further. Everywhere it matters.
It's a good day.
Blue Cross of Idaho.
As we move to the bottom of the first, in the circle for Simon Fraser is Monica Bork. Bork's 13-6 overall on the season, a 2.29 ERA. Of course, the teams are playing for the automatic bid to the Western Regional. First pitch down for ball 1. Currently, Western Washington is ranked 4th in the most recent D2 West Regional poll. Cal State East Bay and San Francisco State are 1 and 2 right now. if it were to end today like that, they would split the hosting duties. So the regional would be in the Bay Area on both sides. There's Malia Andrews. She's the reigning GNAC Co-Player of the Year, first team selection, hitting an impressive .493 on the season. And she takes 2 balls, 1 strike. Andrews, the third baseman. The defense for Simon Fraser across the infield: Bates at third, McMillan at short, Balkan at second, and Daviduk at first base. There's a check swing, 2-2 now for Andrews. The battery for Simon Fraser is Bork in the circle and Surgrieve behind the plate. That ball's up, full count in the outfield. McGlynn is in left field, Murphy's in center, and Lookahide in right. Full count now to Andrews. Payoff pitch is down, and Andrews has reached base with a walk. Kanelohua Patoy steps in, the second baseman. 377 on the year, 58 hits. Second team, all GNAC selection. Yesterday, Patoy went 2 for 4 and scored a run. And that was in that 10-6 victory over St. Martin's on the winner's side of the bracket on Friday. And pitches up. 3-0 now for Patoy. We'll see what Coach Cheryl Gilmore's strategy is here if she turns her loose here early in the game. And she takes strike 1. That ball's hit hard, about a foot foul. Down just past, about 10 feet past first base. So went with the pitch. And that'll bring our count to 3-2. Pitch is called third strike. And Bork comes back and gets the strikeout. 1 out for the shortstop, Haley Rath. 361 hitter, 60 hits, 14 doubles, 5 home runs, 50 RBIs, and a first-team all-conference selection. That ball's hit up the middle to the shortstop. She steps on second and throws across for the double play. So in the bottom of the first, Western Washington goes down in order. And after 1, we're tied at 0. We'll be back. In the top of the second, Simon Fraser will be led off by the designated player, number 13, Cassidy Affelt. Affelt hitting .383 on the season. Yesterday went 2 for 4, scored 2 runs. And she steps in and set to face Kimball. And swing and a miss for strike 1. She takes called strike 2. Kimball jumps out 0-2. And down for ball 1. And same spot, 2-2. Line drive into center field. Carpenter thought about taking a dive, but then thought better of it and corralled it for a single. So the leadoff single brings Janny Balkin up to bat, the second baseman for Simon Fraser. She was the hero last night. She went 2 for 4, and she is the one who drove in the walk-off run for the Red Leafs. So I'm sure while she turned the page and moved on to today, at some point last night, here's hoping that they did celebrate her heroics yesterday evening. That ball's off the hands. That is going to drop into center field, and hustling down to second is Affelt, and she is safe at second with runners at first and second now for Simon Fraser. The third baseman, Ray Bates, steps in. Honorable mention, all GNAC player. .315 on the season. And with no outs, she takes ball 1. Andrew Jeske Ramirez calls time, hustles out for a defensive huddle. Light winds today, the flags are moving. Not much of that yesterday. It was pretty still all day. A lot of activity on campus here at NNU, your host site, as today is graduation day. There's the pitch. It's down. 2 balls, no strikes. And just down for ball 3. So Bates with the 3-0. We'll see what their philosophy is. And she delivers with the strike, 3-1 on the take. Nicely played by Patoy at second base as she picks it up, takes a look at second base, and then decides to take the out at first. So the ground ball advances the runners. There's one out, as now we have both runners in scoring positions. Position for the right fielder, Lauren Looktohide. 342 hitter on the year. She was an honorable mention selection to the all-conference team. She's going to take the first pitch and foul it off over the third base dugout. Slap hitter. 1 strike. Looktohide went 1 for 3 in yesterday's game. I should say second game. There's another swing. This time it's a pop-up. Andrews in the infield is going to take care of it herself, and the runners will stay. So 2 down now for the Red Leafs. Lizzie Surgrave steps in, the catcher. Got a chance to be a hero here with runners at second and third. Oh, and she gets hit in the left elbow, so she will load the bases. That takes us back to the top of the order. Center fielder Aaron Murphy. And we've got a timeout and a visit to the circle for Western Washington. Head coach Cheryl Gilmore takes a chance to go out and talk to her defense. Well, how did we get to this championship game? The conference tournament started off with the 2 versus 3 seed game with St. Martin's defeating Simon Fraser 2-1. And then game 2 saw the 1-4 game with the top seeded Vikings defeating Montana State Billings 8-2. Western Washington then advanced to today's game with a 10-6 victory yesterday morning over St. Martin's. There's the pitch. That's in for a called strike. 1 strike here on Murphy. Comes back, ball's just outside. 1-1. Infield playing middle depth up the middle, respecting the speed of Murphy. There's the ground ball. Andrews fields it, fires it across. And the Vikings are able to stop the threat. And they get the 5-3 putout to end the inning. Simon Fraser scores no runs on 2 hits. There were no errors with 2 runners left on base. In the bottom of the second, the Vikings are led off by the catcher, Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez, a first-team all-conference selection. She takes ball one. Andrzejewski Ramirez yesterday 3 for 4, 2 runs, 2 RBIs. Just a really complete game. Takes ball two. And she'll take ball three. 3-0. And ball four will send her down to first base. First baseman Olivia Matlock steps in for her first at-bat of the ball game. 316 hitter on the year. Another honorable mention selection. And ball one. Five in a row for Bork. So Surgreave decides she's going to go out and settle her down. So we're set. 1 ball, no strikes. Ripped down the right field line, foul by Matlock. And the changeup gets her out on the front foot, but she fights it off. Foul ball, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now on Matlock. And she hangs, fouls it off. Count stays at 1 and 2. Another changeup. This one's popped up down the right field line and a hustle. Great catch by Balkin. That was a fair ball when she caught it. So nice range by Balkin. That brings the designated player for the Vikings, Nyree Johnson, up to bat. Up for ball one. Ball's outside, 2-0. Ball's down 3-0. In for the strike. 3 balls, 1 strike. That ball is off the glove of the first baseman, so it is a fair ball all the way down to the tarp at right center or right field foul territory. But that ball is a stand-up double for Nyree Johnson. So nice piece of hitting. She went with that pitch, and WWU gave it an effort. And now the Vikings are in business with runners at second and third for Layla Carpenter, the center fielder. She's hitting .354 on the year. Yesterday she was 2 for 4, scored a run and drove in an RBI. She fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. So at third base is Andrew Jeske Ramirez. Standing at second is Nyree Johnson after the double. And just 1 out here in the bottom of the second. There's the pitch, it's up. 1-1. And she takes ball 2. 2-1 here to Layla. Outside, ball 3. And the called strike pushes the count to full here with 1 out. And the payoff pitch is up for ball 4. So that loads the bases for Western Washington. And a mound visit to the circle for Simon Fraser. No action down in the bullpen. McKenna Crum will step in, the right fielder for Western Washington. She had a nice day yesterday. 2 for 4, scored a run, had a triple, and 2 RBIs. So the .321 hitter on the season had a very productive day yesterday. So the visit to the circle is completed. And now Crum will step in with the bases loaded. Most promising threat so far here in the early stages of the ball game. And that is a called strike. Lefty Crum steps in. Fouls off That pitch for 2 strikes. Drives it into the ground. That's going to be a tough one. And she beats it out for the infield single. That high bounce on the first bounce after the swing was enough for her to get an RBI and beat it out for an infield single. So Western Washington plates the first run of the ball game as Andrew Jeske Ramirez scores from third. Lexi Barkham steps in, the left fielder, hitting 300 on the year, right on the nose. She takes a first pitch strike. Yeah, that speed kills as Crum was able to easily beat out that throw as she drove it down into the ground with the high bounce. Barkham takes 1-1. Pitches inside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Foul ball. 2-2. Foul ball just over the third base dugout as Barkham fights it off. And Bork is able to get the strikeout on the swing and a miss for the second out of the inning. That takes us back to the top of the order, and here's a huge opportunity for Malia Andrews here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. That ball is down and away. In for strike 1. 1-1 now to Andrews. Andrews walked in the first inning. Fouled straight back by Andrews. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Line drive foul down the left field line for the foul ball. Ball's lifted down the left field line into foul territory, and the catch is made to end the threat. So a fly ball to left field, but not before Western Washington opens the scoring by scoring 1 run on 2 hits. There were no errors, and the bags were full with 3 ladies left on base. After 2 complete, Western Washington leads it 1-0. And we move to the top of the 3rd. Grace McMillan leads it off. She is the number 2 hitter in the order for the Red Leafs. Fly ball to the center fielder in the 1st inning. She takes ball 1. Ball's foul, and then dead ball off the foot inside the batter's box of McMillan, and that does not feel good. You can see her hop for a second afterwards. Anyone who has ever done that knows exactly that feeling. And there's a ground ball to the second baseman, fielded nicely by Patoy for the first out of the inning. Left fielder Albie McGlynn steps in. McGlynn tripled in the 1st inning. Hit a ball hard that Crum sold out for on the dive. She takes ball 1. Change up in for a strike. 1-1. Another change up. This one down. 2 balls, 1 strike. And just up 3-1 here on McGlynn. McGlynn swing through on the foul ball. Moves the count to full. And there's a fly ball into left center. Barkham floats over and makes the grab. First baseman Kristen Daviduk steps in. She struck out looking in the first. First pitch is fouled off behind the screen. Just missed, 1-1. Ball down, 2 balls, 1 strike. Pitch also down. 3 balls, 1 strike. Kimball gets the sign. And she gets Daviduk out early for the foul ball into the third base dugout area. So it counts full, 3-2. And the pitch is hit sharply to the shortstop. Throw across the diamond is there. And Rath retires Daviduk for the 3rd out of the inning. Simon Fraser goes quietly 1-2-3 in the top of the 3rd. We'll be back for the bottom half of the inning.
Les Schwab changed the tire game more than 70 years ago. Today, we still believe you should get more from less. Like more hustle, less hassle. More of the best service around, less of the runaround. Because we include America's best tire warranty in every tire we sell. So you get more unbeatable warranty, less charging you extra. It's why we're more than proud to say, you get more from less.
And we lead off the bottom of the 2nd. Here with Kanalahua Patoy steps in. The second baseman, she struck out looking in the 1st inning. Looking to start a new rally for the Vikings. First pitch is down for ball 1. She takes called strike, 1-1. Ball down. 2 balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss for strike two. 2-2 now. And she takes the changeup and fires it into right field. The base hit for Patoy. Brings up the shortstop, Haley Rath. Rath hit into the double play in the first inning on a sharply hit ball to the shortstop. Calls strike one. High, ball two, ball one, 1-1. Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike. And Rath takes the strike, 2-2. Digs it out of the low half of the zone for a foul ball. Patoy down at first base. Rath now 2-2. Ball hit to left field in the air, and it's camped under and retired by McGlenn. So the catcher, Andrzejewski Ramirez, steps in. She walked in the first inning and then scored the game's only run. Change up, fouled straight back. I mentioned earlier, but it's worth saying again, Andrzejewski Ramirez had a huge day yesterday. 3 for 4, scored 2 runs, had 2 RBIs. Just a great performance. And of course, Western Washington is hoping that this is just the beginning of their postseason run. She takes the strike, 0-2. Trying to repeat last year's just stellar postseason as they ran it all the way to the national championship game. Ball's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And she takes the changeup and singles it up the middle. So the base hit moves Patoy to second base. And Olivia Matlock will step in, the first baseman. Now with one out here in the bottom of the third. And the pitch from Bork is up. Another changeup. Swing through, 1-1. Two balls, one strike. Three balls, one strike now. Oh, ball hit to second base, to the second baseman's left. And that is going to plate both runners. I'm not sure what the call is on the ground ball. I could not tell. It's going to probably just be, I'll check with the scorer. Here we go. Here's the replay. This will. Well, it was to her left, but did they give her a hit or an error? So that is an E4. And then she was able to advance to second on the throw. Both runs will score on the error. Nyree Johnson, your designated player for the Vikings, steps in. Runner in scoring position, still just one out. Swing and a miss for the strike, 1-1. Yeah, I wasn't sure from my angle there if that was to her left too far or if she kind of took a swipe at it, and then the replay you could see it was kind of an Olay. So a costly error results in 2 runs crossing the plate, and Western Washington now leads at 3-0. That ball's fought off the hands directly over to Look to Hide in right field for the line drive out. 2 outs now. Still have Matlock at second base for Layla Carpenter. The center fielder walked in her first at-bat. And a swing and a miss, and it got away from the catcher, so Matlock will advance to third base. Ball is up. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Carpenter. Called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ball is up. And the swing through for strike 3 on Carpenter ends the inning. Western Washington plates 2 runs on 2 hits. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base. So after 3 complete, Western Washington leads it 3-0.
If you want to win in every arena of college life, go D2. Make it yours.
In the top of the 4th, Cassidy Affelt, the designated player, will lead it off. She singled to left center field in her first at-bat in the 2nd inning. First pitch is up. Take a moment to recognize the umpires. Behind the plate, you've got Max Stamper. Down at first base, Katrina Barber. And down at third base, Kenneth Mitchell. Umpires, just like the players, they advance through the tournament based on their performance. And congratulations to our trio this afternoon. 2 balls, no strikes. Ball's fouled off. Off the catcher, Andrew Jeski Ramirez. She picks it up. Fly ball into shallow center. And Carpenter's got a beat on it and makes the grab.
Now batting number 23, Johnny Balkin.
Johnny Balkin steps in, second baseman. She singled in the 2nd inning as well in her first appearance. Takes high, ball 1. Change up in there for a strike, 1-1. Down 2 balls, 1 strike. Gets on top of a fastball and drives it into center field for the single. Falcon now 2 for 2 in today's game and 4 for her last 6. Ray Bates will step in. The honorable mention third baseman. Hit a ground ball to second base in the first at bat of the ball game. She swings through strike 1. Ball's hit down the left field line. That is just inside the line. It's a fair ball. Barkham fields it and sends it in to hold Bates to a single. So back-to-back singles bring Lauren Look-to-Hide to the plate, the right fielder. Popped out to the third baseman in her first at-bat today. She takes strike 1. So 1 out, runners on first and second for Simon Fraser. Ball in the air to left center. However, Carpenter positioned perfectly, and she makes the catch. Second out of the inning brings up Lizzie Surgrave. The catcher, she was hit by a pitch in the second inning. Went 1 for 3 yesterday. Now with 2 outs, she takes strike 1. High for ball 1, 1-1. Fly ball into foul territory. Looks like it's going to be out of play. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now for Kimball against Surgrave. Change up off the front foot. Left fielder going back to the warning track, and she makes the catch 1 step onto the track. So Surgrave just missed that pitch, but it was enough to get the out and end the threat. So in the top of the 4th inning, Simon Fraser scores no runs. There were 2 hits, there were no errors, and they left 2 runners on base. We'll be back for the bottom of the inning.
That's a timeout on betting. It completely changed the game, and you didn't even notice. Let me break it down for you. Betting ads are applying full court pressure and getting you to play the game. Many of you are falling for it and losing big money. Addiction is happening in some more than others. Now players are getting harassed by bettors. And we all know that's not how the game is won. So it's on us to be good teammates and draw the line to stay ahead of betting consequences.
There you can see the bracket on your screen. And you're watching the 1 seed and the 3 seed. Of course, if Simon Fraser comes back to win this game, we will go to a game 7. In the tournament. That ball's hit strongly, going back, and it's off the wall. Crum walks into second base as she smacks it off the wall in right field. Crum now 2 for 2 in the ball game. That ball about 3 feet, 4 feet from going out. What breeze there is, that was going into, as the breeze is kind of going from right to left across left field. Oh my goodness. A great attempt by McMillan as that hard hit ball goes off of her glove. That's a base hit for Lexi Barkham. So runners at first and second, no outs for Western Washington. We're back at the top of the order for Malia Andrews. Andrews 0 for 1 today. That ball's pulled to the second baseman. They're going to take the fielder's, not the fielder's choice. They're going to throw Andrews out at first base, and the runners will advance to second and third. So Andrews does her job and moves the runners over. Now both in scoring position with 1 out. Connie Lehua Patoy steps in. She's 1 for 2 in the ball game. Scored a run in the third. That ball is ripped up the middle, and we're going to get 1 run. And she's going to stretch it to second on the throw, and she does. So a great heads-up base running by Patoy as she singles up the middle, takes second on the throw, gets the RBI. And now again with her hustle, puts runners at second and third for the Vikings. The cutoff person was at the circle, so as soon as Patoy read the high throw that was going to go clear to the cutoff, that was her signal to take off and use her speed to take second base. There's a bunt, and that is going to be a sacrifice RBI, and then an error on the throw. She turns and recognizes no one is around second base. Here you go, you're going to see it on the replay. The throw's high, that's the error there, and then no one is at second base. So she takes second base, and the Vikings reset the exact same situation again with runners at second and third. So Rath is then at second base, and she gets a sacrifice and the RBI, and then she moves to second base on the throwing error by the pitcher. So they go station to station, and the second run is in the inning. As the conference, and I think we've got an appeal going here as the umpires are huddled, and I think the oh, wait a minute, now we have something on an out. We got to figure out what's happening. They've appealed something, and they've called an out. So I've got to, you can see now you guys can see the conversation going on. So we're going to have an explanation here. And I feel like she said something about no, it couldn't have been anything with the slide. So you can see Western Washington's Cheryl Gilmore having that discussion. So we gotta. Oh, okay. So did they rule? They must have ruled. They must have overturned the. They must have overturned the safe call at first base. So that takes the error away, and and now Rath gets the sacrifice bunt because she definitely squared around and bunted for a sac, but not as a base hit. So that gives us 2 outs, and the put out will be 1-3 for the second out of the inning. Irregardless, she picks up the RBI. And now we just have a runner at third base. And I will let you know if there was anything different than that. I'll double check with our official scorer, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened without having an umpire or coach tell us in the box. Ball's down. 2 balls, 1 strike for Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez, your catcher, who's 1 for 1 today. She singled and scored a run in the third, and she walked in the second. 4 for her last 5. She digs one out of the dirt. Third baseman comes across and baits to Daviduk to end the inning. So in the bottom of the 4th inning, Western Washington scores 2 runs on 3 hits. There were no errors with 1 runner left on base. After 4 complete, Western Washington 5, Simon Fraser 0.
On campuses nationwide, the NCAA is making transformative changes for student athletes. While they pursue their biggest dreams, we're launching new initiatives to help them. Life-changing education opportunities are just the start. The NCAA is providing enhanced mental health services. We're guaranteeing scholarships and tuition and expanding access to healthcare. Visit ncaa.org/change to learn more.
Let's go on up!
Simon Fraser in the top of the 5th. We're back to the top of the order. Erin Murphy, the center fielder, will lead it off. And she takes strike 1. And a change in the circle for Western Washington. And a swinging infield hit for Aaron Murphy.
Got this, Anna.
For Western Washington, Kiana Kong. 10-0 record, 1.27 ERA. And she delivers a first pitch strike. Another bunt, this time to the second baseman, and that is also going to be a base hit. So well-placed bunt for McMillan. So runners on first and second now off the single and the bunt single for Abby McGlynn, the left fielder. Western Washington will have a defensive conference. And can't really fault the defense, just two well-placed, well-executed balls there. One hit by Aaron Murphy, and then the bunt by McMillan right to the second baseman position. I say position, I say second base area, but it was hard enough to get past Kong. So first and second, no outs here for Simon Fraser. Pitch just outside for ball one. Pitch down, ball two, 2-0. Yeah, she bounces back for a called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike. The lefty McGlynn, 393 on the year. 1 for 2 today with the triple in the first inning. Ball's down, juggled. They're going to go for the action at third base. She's safe on the wild pitch. So aggressive base running by Simon Fraser. They advance on that wild pitch in the dirt. And now Coach Cheryl Gilmore out to ask for help. So I guess the appeal help would have to come from the home plate umpire on just a safe out call, I would imagine. Unless they think she left early, I guess. And that perhaps would come from the field umpire, or the umpire located around second base. But the call is upheld. She's safe. I can't hear what the reason for the appeal was, whether it was just a straight safe out appeal or if it was perhaps leaving early. So now runners at second and third, no outs for McGlynn. That ball is fouled off at the plate. And we'll reset 3-2 for McGlynn. Pitch, and she gets the strikeout on McGlynn. So the strikeout for the first out of the inning brings up the first baseman, Kristen Daviduk. Daviduk struck out looking in the first and grounded out in the third to the shortstop. So, scoring opportunity here for Simon Fraser, and a first pitch strike delivered by Kong.
Snap it in there, Anna. Keep it up. Keep it up.
And just missed. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that pitch is just outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Simon Fraser loaded the bases in the second, had 2 runners on in the fourth. So this is the third time they've had multiple base runners in the scoring threat. And there's a called strike, 2-2. So Daviduk looking for her pitch. But Western Washington has been able to escape with good pitching and good defense. And Daviduk hangs, fouling that straight back to the screen.
Keep working on it. You're doing great. Keep it moving.
Ball's down. Good stop by Andrzejewski Ramirez. 3-2 now. First base is open. Ball is hit hard at Andrews. Andrews turns, and the first baseman is off the bag. So that is going to be a base hit. On the hard hit ball that was fielded well, but then just outran the throw. That scores a run. And Simon Fraser is broken into the scoring column. Now runners at first and second. So 2 infield singles and a bunt single is what has produced the 1 run here. As we have runners at first and second. There's the pitch, and it is there for a called strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. And that ball's down. 2 balls, 1 strike. Ball in the air, left field. Barcom's going to take it just inside the fair foul line. Fair ball, and the F7 gives the Vikings the second out of the inning. So 2 down now with runners at first and second. Jenny Balkan steps in. She's 2 for 2 today with a pair of singles. So she is dangerous right now, as she is 4 for her last 6. And she was the hero last night with the walk-off hit. So she's got some good vibes going. Kong starts her off with ball 1. And the swing is a foul down the first base line, ground ball. Balkin steps in.
Let's go, Lana. Keep dealing.
1 ball, 1 strike.
Go.
Pitch, and that ball is hit into center field. And she keeps the hot streak alive with her third single of the ball game. This one's an RBI single that scores Grace McMillan from second base.
Way to play, Layla. Way to play, Layla.
Time is called. And a defensive huddle here for Western Washington. All right, the huddle defensive meeting is over. And Ray Bates, the third baseman, will step in. 2 outs on the board, runners at first and second for Simon Fraser. Kong starts it off, swing and a miss for strike 1 for Bates. Bates grounded out to the second baseman in the second inning. There's a ground ball through the legs of the first baseman. That is going to be an error, and that puts runners at the corner and scores another run for Simon Fraser. So Bates reaches on the error and it stays at first. It moves Balkin to third base and scores Daviduk. So tightened up the ball game as 3 runs have crossed. And now Lauren Luchtehide will step in, the right fielder. She's hit 2 fly balls today. The last one to the center fielder. And Kong continues to do her job throwing strikes. Foul ball. And reset on the foul ball. Runners at the corners for Simon Fraser. Luchtehide swings through it for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And the called third strike will end the inning. Simon Fraser scores 3 runs on 4 hits. There was 1 error with 2 runners left on base. So after 4.5, it's tightened up. Vikings 5, Red Leafs 3.
NCAA athletes don't just compete. They make history, representing our nation with pride and excellence. They bring home the hardware. Our college campuses serve as training grounds for the next generation of stars. Catch tomorrow's Olympians and Paralympians on the NCAA Championship stage today.
In the bottom of the 5th, Olivia Matlock, your first baseman, will step in. She reached on an error in the 3rd, popped out to the second baseman in the 2nd. So Matlock looking to be the leadoff hitter here for Western Washington. And the changeup, foul back for the second strike. Another change off the front foot, fouled off over the first base dugout. Fly ball into right field, right center, and Look to Hide will make the grab for the first out of the inning. Designated player Nyree Johnson steps in. Johnson doubled in the 2nd, flew out to the right fielder in the 3rd. Actually, it was more of a line drive than a fly ball. So here is Johnson facing Bork for the 3rd time today. First pitch down, ball 1. Change up, 1-1. No, excuse me, 2-0. And a called strike for Bork, 2-1. Down, 3-1. That ball's hit on the nose to center field. Center fielder is going back over the top of the center fielder off the wall. That'll be a stand-up double for Nyree Johnson. That ball was hit hard. So Layla Carpenter will step in now with a runner in scoring position. Carpenter 0 for 1 today. She walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 3rd. Hitting .344 on the year, the lefty. Takes a first pitch strike. Pitch is up. Pitch. There for the called strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Ground ball to the second baseman. And Balkan flips it to Daviduk for the second out of the inning. Johnson advances to third on the ground ball. And with 2 down, McKenna Crum, the right fielder, will step in for the Vikings. She's 2 for 2 today with a single and a double. She doubled off the right field wall to lead off the fourth. Foul ball down the third baseline. Ground ball. Shortstop comes up. Oh, and it is an error on McMillan. Kind of caught her between hops on the timing. So the E6 will score the run. Unearned run. And the Vikings plate 1 here in the 5th. And Crum goes to first base. Lexi Barkham steps in, 1 for 2 today with a single in the 4th. There's a swing and a foul ball with 2 down here in the bottom of 5. The pitch, it's up for ball 1. 1-1. Pitch, the swing and a miss. They go down. She's safe. Off. I don't know what the first call was. He made a funky motion with his hand, but immediately asked for some help with the trainer. I think she jammed her left hand in on the slide. So runner safe on the stolen base for is Crum. Counts 1 ball, 2 strikes on Barkham. She's able to shake it off. You can see her flexing that left hand. I believe what the umpire called was obstruction, so maybe there wasn't any base available for her to slide into. So 1 ball, 2 strikes now. Crum is at second base. 1 run is already in this inning for Western Washington to answer the 3 that Simon Fraser had scored. There's a ball that's lifted and does a nice job by McMillan going back and making the catch over her shoulder. So in the bottom of the 5th, Western scores 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base. After 5 complete, Vikings 6, Red Leafs 3.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's will you.
We move to the top of the 6th. Simon Fraser coming to bat. They'll be led off by the catcher, Lizzie Surgrave.
Leading off to Simon Fraser is number 3, Lizzie Sugarai.
This is Surgrave's first opportunity to face Kong. First pitch down, ball 1. And in for called strike 1. 1-1.
Keep dealing on it. Keep dealing on it. Your rhythm, your game on it. Your game, your rhythm.
Ball is up.
You got this on it.
Ball's fouled off. Strike 2, 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes. Ball's fouled off. To the right side, count will stay 2-2.
Okay, Anna. Your game, your game.
And she gets the strikeout. Sergey with the swing and a miss for the first out of the inning. That takes us to the top of the order. Erin Murphy, the center fielder, steps in. She's 1 for 3 today with an infield hit in the 5th.
Go, Anna. Let's do it.
First pitch inside, ball 1.
Go, Anna.
Pitch, ground ball, scooped up by the second baseman. Oh man, what a great play by Patoy. She came up and got the short hop, turned and threw a strike over to Matlock at first base. Boy, I tell you what, as a pitcher, you love to watch that defense behind you. Man, terrific defense. That brings Grace McMillan to the plate, the shortstop. She's 1 for 3 today with an infield bunt hit in the 5th. There's the pitch, foul ball. Back to the screen. Called strike for Kong. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The count here on McMillan. Here's 2 down in the top of the 6th. Once again, Western Washington wins this game. They win the conference tournament championship. And a take, 2-2. Simon Fraser wins this game, then they turn around and play a decisive game 7 30 minutes after the end of this one. That ball's up. Full count now, 3-2 on McMillan. Besides the trophy and the title, at play here is the automatic bid to the Western Regional for the national tournament. That is down for ball 4. So McMillan works hard and earns a walk. And that'll bring the left fielder, Abby McGlynn, up to the plate. McGlynn 1 for 3 with a triple in the first inning. First time facing Kong in the 5th, she struck out. Kong starts her off, first pitch swinging, foul ball for strike 1. Ball is down. 1 ball, 1 strike. Change up in for called strike 2. 1-2 now on the lefty McGlynn. Pitch is down, 2-2. Runner at first is McMillan. Change up, high. They'll run that count to full here on McGlynn. 2 down, so McMillan will be in motion. And the ball hit to the second baseman. She'll turn. Patoy will toss it over to Matlock for the final out of the inning. In the top of the 6th, no runs, no hits, there were no errors, and 1 runner left on base. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th when we come back.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Top of the order here in the bottom of the 6th for Western Washington. Malia Andrews will lead it off. 0 for 2 today with a walk in the first inning. She did a nice job in the fourth by advancing the runners with a ground ball to second base. So while the stats say 0 for 2, it was productive. She takes ball 2. And she takes ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. And there's the strike. 3-0, 3-1 now for Andrews. Andrews hits it on the nose to the shortstop. Shortstop fumbles it, and the E6 will put Andrews at first base. Kanalahua Patoy steps in. The second baseman is 2 for 3 today. Looks like we're going to have a conference at the mound in the circle. And the meeting is over. And Bork will reset here to face Patoy. Swing and a miss has a protection for the sliding attempt on the stolen base, and she is thrown out. On the caught stealing, so first out of the inning. So 1 out on the caught stealing. Patoy will look to start it over. And she gets a fly ball out of play down the left field line. There's a called third strike, and Bork gets the strikeout. Her fourth strikeout of the afternoon. Haley Rath steps in, the shortstop. She's 0 for 2 today with a nice sacrifice bunt in the fourth. There's Rath on a line right at Bates at third base. So Western Washington goes down in the sixth. No runs, no hits. There was 1 error and no runners left on base. After 6 complete, Western Washington leads it 6-3. And we go to the top of the 7th. Simon Fraser trailing 6-3. Leading it off, the first baseman, Kristen Daviduk. She takes ball 1. Daviduk 1 for 3 today with an infield single in the 5th inning. That ball is hit down the left field line. That's going to go to the fence for extra bases. She's going to stretch it into a stand-up double for Daviduk to lead off the inning for Simon Fraser. Designated player Cassidy Affelt steps in. Affelt hitting .382 this year. She's 1 for 3 today with a single in the 2nd. Affelt, as I mentioned probably early in the game, she had a nice game yesterday, 2 for 4, scored 2 runs in the elimination game to bring them to the championship game. That ball's hit hard at the second baseman, but it eats her up. That's going to just move the runner to third base. It was not deep enough.
Now batting number 23, Johnny Bolkin.
That was an error on the second baseman. So E4 puts Affelt on first base and moves Daviduk to third. Jenny Balkin set to come to the plate. The second baseman, red hot right now, 3 for 3 today. All singles up the middle. The defensive huddle is breaks. And they'll reset for Balkin. First pitch strike from Kong delivered. Inside, 1-1. Pitch is down in the dirt. Runner advances. So a stolen base for Affelt. Called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a foul ball. Keeps the count 2-2 now to Balkin. There's the pitch and the swing. Long fly ball out of play down the right field line. Balkin got a nice swing on that one, just a little out front. It's the pitch, and that ball's hit hard to left field. Left fielder's going back, and it's over her head off the wall at the warning track. 2 runs are going to score, and that's a stand-up double for the red-hot Balkan, who's now 4 for 4 today. So 2 RBIs for Balkan, and that tightens it up at 6-5. So Western Washington is going to go back to Kimball now, and she'll face Ray Bates. And Kimball will get loose again. And it appears that they're going to have a pinch runner. Pinch runner for Balkan is number 2. Number 2 is Annika Jansen. So Jansen will go to second base now, as we've got no outs here in the top of the 7th, and Simon Fraser has pulled to within 1 here at 6-5. So Kimball will face off against the third baseman, Ray Bates. Bates is 1 for 3 today. She singled in the 4th and then reached on an error in the 5th. First pitch is up in the air to left field. It's going to be a foul ball, and it's caught by Barkham. So just outside the fair foul line for the first out of the inning. 1 pitch, 1 out for Kimball. Lauren Luchtehide steps in, the right fielder. 0 for 3 today. First pitch, just outside ball 1. Pitch is up. 2 balls, no strikes. One out, left-handed hitter. Infield is about halfway. Middle infielders are about halfway in. Outfielders are playing a little closer than normal depth. I wouldn't say shallow, but center fielder is definitely shallow. Right fielder is on the pitch, moving in pretty shallow. Left fielder's holding her position on the pitch. There's the swing. It is into shallow left. And Barkham comes in and calls off Rath and makes the catch. So now Simon Fraser down to their last out. Runner at second base. They trail it by 1. So Lizzie Surgrieve, the catcher, will step in. She is 0 for 2 today. Was hit by a pitch in the 2nd. First pitch strike to Surgrieve. So Western Washington, 1 more out to secure the automatic bid to the regional and their back-to-back conference championship titles. That ball's hit hard to left field. Back, it's going back, and it is out of here. And Surgrieve hits a 2-run home run to give Simon Fraser the lead at 7-6. Man, shocker. So a 2-run blast over the left field wall will bring Aaron Murphy to the plate. Now we're back to the top of the order. Now as Simon Fraser leads it for the first time today, 7-6. Ball is up. Swing and a miss for strike one. 1-1 now to Murphy. Just a clutch piece of hitting there for Sir Grieve. That ball is fouled off. 1 ball, 2 strikes now with 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Pitch, ball's hit in the air right at the left fielder, and that'll do it as Barkham collects it. So, in the top of the 7th, Simon Fraser scores 4 runs on 3 hits, none bigger than the 2-run home run. There was 1 costly error and no runners left on base. So after 6.5, Simon Fraser now leads it 7-6. So we're in the bottom of the 7th. Western Washington needs 1 to tie and 2 to win here in this championship game. The first of possible 2 if Western Washington were to fall. Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez steps in. 1 for 2 today. First pitch up, ball 1. Can Western Washington replicate what Simon Fraser just did? Pitch is down, ball 2. And that ball is hit hard to right field. It's going to one-hop the fence. Andrzejewski will cruise into second base with a leadoff double. Andrzejewski is one of those kids that you could just sit and watch hit all day long. Just a pretty swing, right on time. So we're going to have a pinch runner for Andrzejewski Ramirez. That's going to be number 23, Haley Kim, excuse me. So she comes back to an excited dugout as she does her job. So Kim is now at second base for Western Washington. Olivia Matlock steps in. 0 for 3 today, but did reach on an error in the third. Ball is up. 1 ball, no strikes. Ball hit on the ground. Third baseman picks it up, fires across, and it goes out of play. And that is going to score a run and tie it up. And she will go to second base. So Matlock is going to reach on the throwing error by Bates. And she will go to second base as that ball went through the gate out of play at the end of the dugout. So now the score is tied at 7, and the winning run is out at second base in with Matlock. So Matlock put the ball in play, and Bates, to be honest, made a really nice defensive play. When she picked up the ground ball, she looked back the runner at second. Her body was sliding to the left, and she went sidearm with the throw, and it just floated on her. Nyree Johnson, your designated player, steps in. There's no outs with the winning run on second base. Johnson pounded a double in the 5th. And a double in the 2nd to right field. So she is 2 for 3 with a pair of doubles today. First pitch is down, ball 1. Right fielder Look to Hide is playing middle at best in right field. She takes called strike 1-1. And I say that because Johnson has been favoring that right side. Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner out at second base for Matlock. And it's number 5. That is Gracie Houston, number 5. She'll take her spot at second base as there's a defensive conference in the circle. It's about all you can ask for in a championship game, I guess. Back and forth. However, neither coach is probably really happy about it because a couple of the situations have been set up by defensive errors. Nyree Johnson will step back in. It's 1-1. And now the pinch runner Houston is out at second base. There's the pitch in for called strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Johnson. That pitch is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Johnson hangs tough with the foul ball. 2-2. There's the pitch, and again fouled off to the right side. I tell you, if there's going to be one kid who's tired at the end of this week, it's Monica Bork. just looking, statistician just pointed out, that was the 124th pitch she's thrown in this ball game. Ground ball foul down the first base line. I don't have a running total based on how many pitches she's thrown on Thursday and Friday, but she deserves some ice and some rest. And that ball is up. Full count now to Nairi Johnson. And ball 4. So Johnson draws the walk. Runners on first and second now with no outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Layla Carpenter steps in. Carpenter 0 for 2 today with a walk in the 2nd inning. Hitting .341 on the season. Had a nice game yesterday. She's going to lay the bunt down. Nope, it goes foul. It was 2 for 4 with a run and an RBI in yesterday's game. So with no outs, I could see where Carpenter will continue. Didn't get that bunt attempt down, but wouldn't be surprised to see her do that again right now. With no outs, moving the runners over. Corners are way in. Nope, she's going to swing it. It's going to be foul, and Bates is able to come over and make the grab. So, first out of the inning recorded by the Red Leafs. And McKenna Crum will step in now with 2 outs, or excuse me, with 1 out and 2 runners on base. Crum is 2 for 3 with a single and a double, and also reached on an error in the 5th. And there's a hard hit ball, and it's going to get past the diving shortstop for a single to load the bases. Great effort by McMillan. And Crum is now 3 for 4 today. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter. I think that's going to be number 99, who is Paris Delamagori. Yep. So Delamagori will come in as the pinch hitter. Bases loaded, 1 out. A lot of combination of things that will win the ball game here for Western Washington. She takes strike 1. Ball outside. Delamagori yesterday against Simon Fraser was 1 for 4 with a single. So recent action for her as she caught the game yesterday. And Andrew Jeske Ramirez filled the role as a designated player. Two balls, 1 strike here for Delamagori. Bases loaded. Bottom of the 7th. And it's fouled straight back. Infield is up. Corners at their normal position, looking for a hard hit ball. Middle infield on the baselines, as we do have the pinch runner in Houston at third. That ball is fouled straight back. Delamagore has her timing down. 2-2. I would think any fly ball to the outfield that's at middle distance or better will set up a possible sacrifice. Here's the pitch. It is outside. And now we're full with one out, nowhere to put her. So this will definitely be the payoff pitch. That ball is hit hard down the right field line, foul. And we'll have a chance to do it all again. And she's got the sign. The pitch, it's hit hard up the middle, and that's gonna do it. The walk-off game-winning, championship-winning hit. A pinch hit single for Paris Delamagore. Plates the run. And the final score will be 8-7, Western Washington. They become the first team to win back-to-back conference championships, and that is their fourth conference championship, which also gives them the lead in that category, as they were tied with Northwest Nazarene with 3 apiece. And Western Washington will win the automatic bid to the Western Regional and look to advance into the postseason just like they did last year, where they had such a tremendous run going all the way to the national championship game. So, what an exciting finish as Western Washington, the final score is 8-7. Delamagore is your hero with the pinch hit single. And congratulations to Simon Fraser for their tournament run to come from the 3 seed and reach the championship game. Western Washington picks up their 40th win on the season, and they finished the GNAC portion of their season 40-10 overall, and win the conference regular season and the conference tournament championship. I'm guessing that they'll keep the cameras rolling as they do the championship trophy and t-shirt presentations, but I'm going to turn it over to our PA announcer for that. And I'd like to say thank you for joining us all week, and especially today, for Evan O'Kelly at the conference office, Josh Burkholder at Northwest Nazarene. I'm Craig Stensgaard. It's been a joy to bring you the action here on GNAC TV, and I hope you enjoy the trophy ceremony and have a great afternoon.
Fans, at this time, we direct your attention to the infield for the presentation of our 2025 GNAC Softball Championships All-Tournament Team. Pitcher from Simon Fraser, Monica Bork. Pitcher from Western Washington, Ali Kimball. Catcher from Western Washington, Emma Andrzejewski Ramirez. First base from Western Washington, Olivia Matlock. Second base from St. Martin's, Shelby Lawson. Third base from Western Washington, Malia Andrews. Shortstop from Western Washington, Haley Rath. Outfielder from Western Washington, McKenna Crum. Outfielder from Simon Fraser, Erin Murphy. Outfielder from Simon Fraser, Abby McGlynn. Designated player from St. Martin's, Amanda Peterson. And utility from Simon Fraser, Janique Balkan. And finally, your 2025 GNAC Softball Championships Most Valuable Player from Western Washington, McKenna Crum. Now, GNAC Commissioner Bridget Johnson-Tedder will award the 2025 GNAC Championship Trophy to the Western Washington Vikings. Congratulations to Western Washington, the 2025 GNAC champions. Our championship team is also receiving championship t-shirts and hats presented by Under Armour. Fans, thank you for attending the 2025 GNAC Softball Championships here in Nampa. Please drive home safely.